some. Have you ever been asked a question that stopped you in your tracks? One that made you reflect on everything you stood for? It happened to me. Second date. Sitting across from the lady who would become my wife. And she asked me, "Have you ever slept with a girl before?" I laughed at first, but as a Christian, I had to be truthful. So I looked her in the eyes and said, yes. During my Army days, I learned something shocking. Many of my peers saw relationships completely differently. Dating multiple girls, a status symbol. Waiting 6 months before sleeping with a girl meant you were serious. But if it was casual, bed her ASAP. 1 Thessalonians 4:3-5. For this is the will of God, your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality. The world said, like, follow your desires, but God said, let be set apart. And I had to make a choice. When I entered university, I made a conscious decision not to join any Christian varsity groups. Not because I abandoned my faith, but because I wanted to understand the world beyond my church bubble. And that's where I met her, a girl from my party group who shared a related surname. We liked each other, but I never pursued anything serious as she was not a Christian. Until the trip. What started as a fun group adventure, aka pre-graduation trip, turned into something else. One by one, people dropped out, until it was just a couple, the party girl, and me. Understanding this, the resort owner, whom I gotten to know, decided to upgrade us to have 2 rooms instead of 1, at the expense of my referral fee, $20 per room. Each room has 2 queen-size beds, plus I had 3 sisters, so I didn't think much. As expected, the couple opted for a room right beside ours. On the morning of day 2, I woke up, and there she was, sleeping next to me. I froze, my heart pounded. Had something happened? Hebrews 13:4, let marriage be held in honor among all, and let the marriage bed be undefiled. She woke up too and explained. She had come over because she was scared to sleep alone. That was it. Nothing happened. But that moment taught me something profound. Temptation isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, subtle, and dangerously close. The world told me I had every right to do whatever I wanted. But God reminded me, purity is more than what you avoid. It's about what you pursue. After showing my parents the pictures of the trip, my parents were very concerned. And this was followed by a call from my grandmother to enforce that I shouldn't be with Party Girl, as she has a related surname as ours. So when my girlfriend asked if I had ever slept with a girl before, I told her the truth. Technically, yes, but not in the way the world defined it. She didn't ask more questions after I explained the incident in detail. It was weeks later that I found out she had a list of qualities she wanted in her future husband. One of them? Never being in a serious relationship or sleeping with another girl before. She had almost given up believing such a man existed until she got to question me on our second date. We live in a world that celebrates instant gratification, but God calls us to something greater. The world says it's just physical, but God says it's sacred. The world normalizes sin, but we are called to be set apart. Romans 12:2, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Living for Christ means making choices that won't always make sense to others. But when we honor God in our relationships, in our purity, and in our convictions, we glorify Him. And that is what truly matters. So now I ask you, where do you stand? Are you allowing the world to define your relationships, or are you letting God lead you? Purity isn't just about what we avoid, it's about what we pursue. And if this video spoke to you, don't just watch, act. Make a commitment today to honor God in your relationships. And if you need encouragement, comment below, I choose purity. Let's stand together and be countercultural for Christ. Do like and subscribe for more faith-based stories and encouragement. Do wait upon Him, as God makes all things beautiful in His time.